Five Nights at Freddy's, first released in 2014, a breath of fresh air for horror fans everywhere. From hidden lore to bloodthirsty animatronics that hunt you down, Five Nights at Freddy's has it all. Now cut to today, and after 12 other sequels and prequels, we have Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. A game that shakes things up from the standard FNAF formula. What is up, everybody? Zoel the Wolf here, and welcome to another episode of the Nerd Talk. I hope everyone is doing well today. You already know, today we are talking about Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. I love Five Nights at Freddy's. I didn't really play a lot of the older games, but I definitely, was there along with a lot of people watching Markiplier play through them all, watching the game theory videos, and just enjoying the hidden lore from them all. But Security Breach is different, and it's fun, and it certainly shakes things up. So nonetheless, let's roll that intro and hop right into the video. When it comes down to it, Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach is broken, but yet a delightful horror experience. And I think horror fans, especially if you love the Five Nights at Freddy's series, just will love this game because it is that good. It's fun. While it definitely stays true to the FNAF formula of surviving until 6 a.m. and being hunted down by bloodthirsty animatronics, it also likes to change things up. No longer are you stuck behind a desk and having to worry about closing doors constantly, but now you get to move throughout the entire pizzeria, or in this game as it's known, the Pizza Plex, which is basically like a giant pizzeria mall, which is pretty cool, with arcades and bowling alleys and all of that. And of course, you're not being hunted down just by animatronics, but you also have aid from Freddy Fazbear himself, and that is awesome. Now, while the Pizzaplex does look amazing and the lighting is pretty great in this game, sometimes that's the best thing about it. Now, disclaimer, this is actually my second run of this game. I beat this game back when it first came out, and the game was very, very buggy back then, and it has been updated quite a bit. And the game, well, let's just say, it's still a little buggy to this day. Basically, when it comes down to it, the game is fun. Exploring the pizzeria is a lot of fun. It's fun to explore the pizzeria. The pizzeria looks great, or the Pizzaplex, whatever you want to say at this point. It looks amazing. All the stores, the lighting, everything looks great. There's a bunch of decor everywhere. But sometimes when it comes down to the gameplay, it can be a little lopsided depending on how it goes. First off, we have the security bots. The security bots are one of the new threats to you, and they're not necessarily the biggest threat, but they're certainly a little annoying sometimes, constantly roaming little areas, searching for you. One thing that definitely stands out, I think now, is that their hitboxes feel a little broken. I remember whenever I was doing the DJ section in the arcade and the dance place to turn on generators, it seemed like the hitbox for the security bots was very broken, and I was struggling very much. But not just the security bots, but also the main animatronics. Chica, Monty, Roxy, they sometimes feel a little still broken. Chica would randomly sometimes spawn just out of nowhere at places where she really shouldn't be. Again, that was mainly like in the DJ area. For some reason, she spawned where Monty patrols, and I don't know how that happened, but she was just there. And it just seems like some of the hitboxes are still a little broken. Personally, for me, I'm not the biggest fan of having to avoid the security bots constantly. I understand why they're there, but for me, it's one of those things that's a little repetitive within the game. It kind of gets annoying, especially whenever you feel like you dodged them and they still grab you anyways and alert one of the animatronics to you. So yeah, there's that. Also, when it does come down to, especially Vanny, who is like the new kind of antagonist, kind of William Afton-like person who's working for, of course, Burn Trap. With Vanny, I wish that she could have been in the game a little more. She mainly shows up like twice, and she's not really that much of a threat. Now, there is a lot of unused content, and some of it has made its way back into the game from updates, it seems. I noticed this playthrough from the videos I watched, but if you want to check out some of the videos that talk about a lot of the unused content, like the cut Vania meter, some of the cut dialogue from Vanessa and animatronics and stuff like that, levels, design and stuff like that, I will leave a link in the description down below to it. Check out TetraBitgaming. His channel is awesome. He covers a lot of like the unused content stuff in games, which is pretty cool. And I've been watching a lot of that stuff lately, and it's actually been pretty cool stuff. So be sure to check that out. It's pretty awesome. Again, though, when it comes to Vanny, I just wish that she was at least in the game a little more, because she's kind of the biggest threat. Not to say the animatronics aren't a threat, they definitely are, but it kind of comes down like to the gameplay. Even though it is nice to be moving around in this game and exploring the pizzeria, because exploring is a ton of fun. You get to go to all sorts of areas, and even though there's a lot of back and forth, when you unlock areas after doing certain objectives, it's very fun to be able to go into those areas and explore and see what's new, see what you can find, see if you can find presents, see if you can find hidden messages and stuff like that, and just getting to see more of the Pizza Plex. And I just wish there was more of the Pizza Plex to see. And it certainly is enjoyable exploring the Pizza Plex, because you get to go from the areas, and again, the areas look absolutely stunning. The music is really good in this game because it fits what the Pizza Plex is, so every room you go into, there's something new, and that's really cool. It's really fun because it feels like you're in a real life Pizza Plex, and it's pretty awesome. Although again, back to Vanny, it's just, with Vanny, or even like some of the animatronics, it would be nice in a way to kind of have more of a reason to keep going a little faster, either with time counting, or time going by constantly instead of it just doing the segments like it does in the final release, or for like at least Vanny to show up a little more, to kind of keep you on your toes. You know, that would be a nice addition. Now, of course, I know that DLC is coming, and like I said, they've been adding more of the uncut stuff, so hopefully we'll get more of that. That would be awesome. But again, just it would be nice to kind of have more of a reason to keep exploring and to stay on your toes just a little bit. I'm not saying it needs to be very difficult, but to kind of just keep you on your toes, to know that Vanny is a looming threat. Now, for first-time players, of course, it feels like Vanny could be a looming threat, but after your first playthrough and you learn everything, it becomes very routine, and so you kind of get used to it. I won't lie though, this second playthrough, I thought I was ready for most of the stuff, but this game still got my heart pumping a few times in fear and in like worry, because trying to run from the animatronics sometimes can be a little difficult, especially if you don't have like the Faz Blaster or the Faz Cam, so you do got to be careful, and it certainly can get your heart going a little bit. So I was surprised that it still did that for me, but I was actually pretty happy that it did that for me. All in all, getting to explore areas from the daycare up to the main stage to the backstage areas to VIP rooms, it is a fun time. It is a good experience that many players, I think, can enjoy. Even if you don't necessarily like Five Nights at Freddy's, or if you're like new to the series, this is a game that you can definitely hop into, and I think anyone can enjoy to an extent. It may not have necessarily the same level of fear that a game like Outlast or Outlast 2 would have, or even maybe some of the original Five Nights at Freddy's. However, it still certainly has its moments where it is a little spoopy out there, you know, and it can get you a little bit. It can get your heart going, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing that the game, even on multiple playthroughs, can do that for you, and that shows that the game has a lot of love towards it. However, this is an example, though, that this game is an example that it should have been in the oven just a little longer before it came out, at least. It's kind of an example of a video I did recently where I talked about this stuff with video games, where it just seems like games come out in these very, like, unready states, and that sometimes sucks, and it can ruin the experience for a lot of games. However, with Security Breach, a game like Security Breach, you still see that the game is actually loved and that the developers care, because if they didn't, it wouldn't be as good as it is now. Even though it's broken and it's a little wonky at times, it's still fun. It's still fun to explore. It's still fun to be chased by the animatronics, fun to stun them, you know, all the good stuff. And it's cool that, you know, now we have a Freddy as an ally, and we get to ride around in him. I mean, you get to ride around in Freddy, and that's pretty awesome in and of itself. And just getting, again, to explore the pizzeria like that, that's probably one of the biggest things about this game that makes it worth it to play it, at least for me. It's just, I love the Pizza Plex, I love its design, I love the rooms, I love the lighting, and so it's always fun to explore. I love the music that plays in certain areas, and so therefore I always keep going back to it, just to explore for a little bit with Freddy and try to find presents I haven't found yet. And all of that and get going. So if you like horror, be sure to give this game a look. It's fun, it's a good time. So that's about all I have to say here. So hope you guys enjoyed this one. This one was kind of short. It was kind of hard to make because I didn't know exactly how I wanted to talk about it. I just kind of wanted to, like that's what I'm still trying to figure out how I want to like do these videos. So I'm kind of doing some new things. I just like talking about games though. What can I say, man? That's what I like doing. But yeah, nonetheless, hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will see you in the next one. Peace. Be sure to also like and subscribe. Peace.